Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create a faceted bead art gift tag. It's faceted bead art as when I first started it I used faceted bead for all my art, and it uses a particular stitch which is different from the doilies. So this is a gift tag created with faceted bead art. And I also created one with seed beads for you seed bead users. These are size 8 seed beads. You can create it with smaller ones, but remember it'll be a lot smaller depending on the size. As you can see here, these 8 seed beads are quite a bit smaller than even the faceted beads, and the other sizes will be even smaller. But that actually gives you more designing space too. Now I'm going to be showing you how to create with a graph paper. With faceted bead art, the stitch that is used works perfectly with graph paper because the beads land one on top of each other and they are all equal distance. So you can create your faceted bead art gift tag easily using graph paper. Here I have set up, I'm creating my gift tags to be 8 beads tall, so you want to have 8 squares. So put a line above and then count down 8 and put another line. And we want our end to taper, so I have done the circles to have our end taper to a point. And I've already added 2 because I plan to put that on all gift tags, so I have already put that in. And here I have created a set of letters that can be used. These letters are 6 tall, so that'll give you 1 on each end above and below it as far as space goes. So these are the letters we will be using in the gift tag we are creating today. I have also created some little icons that we can put at the end of our gift tag. Some of these are 8, so they will be right from the top to the bottom. Other ones have space on the top and bottom. This one I accidentally put down 1, so if you do use this one, be sure to move it up 1 so that it has space on top and bottom. Now, before I begin, I want to show you other ways to get letters and little icons to put at the end of your gift tag, or if you just decide to create something completely different with this idea of faceted bead art. Here for letters, I went into Microsoft Paint. This is the newest version with Windows 10, and I opened the view bar. And I zoomed in as far as I could go, and I turned on grid lines. Then I used the text box to begin creating some letters, and I used Arial and size 8, which is the smallest that Paint will do letters in, and I printed up some letters just for sample. Now they don't look like this once you go out of the text box. They actually look like this, which is a bit blurred. So then what you want to do is clean them up. You use the blurred version to help you create nice clean versions. And that's one way you can get letters of different sizes depending on what you need. You also can try some different fonts and get fancy if you would like using this same technique. Here I've used size 12 because with these fancier ones it's kind of harder to get them to look good at size 8. And as you can see here, some of them we won't be able to use. For example, this one here and this one are going to be kind of hard to clean up because they're so just mostly black. However, some of them do clean up rather nicely. And here I have 4 of them cleaned up. And this way is another way to get some letters that are a little more fancy depending on what you want to create. Another thing you can do also is use Google and do a search for cross-stitch letters, because with the faceted bead art you actually can create you can actually create cross-stitch patterns. So any cross-stitch letters will work with the faceted bead art. Here I highlighted one that actually might work even with this, because they're only 7 stitches tall and each stitch would be a bead. So it would be, you'd leave a line at the top on your gift tag and then they would be right at the bottom. Now the smaller letters would not all work, but all the capital letters of a stitch like this one would work. Whenever you look up a stitch or borrow something from someone, always remember never to claim it as your own work, because you are borrowing someone else's design, so you want to give them credit. Here also is another thing you can do for icons at the end of your gift tag is look up pixel, and I did Christmas. You can do pixel birthday, you can do all different pixel something in the search, and it'll bring up little pixel images, and the pixels, each pixel will be a bead. So here I highlighted one that would work nicely. I believe this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a little tall, but this tree is 10, so you could make your gift tag a little wider, or you could shrink it up a little bit and take off maybe just the top 2, and you could use this tree. So this is a way to get other pixel items. Any pixel image, if you see a pixel image and you think, oh, that would make a nice little bead art. Well, with the faceted bead art stitch, you can create it into bead art. Alright, now back to our gift tag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my graph that I've created and I'm going to put it into a page protector. And this way I can recreate and reuse it over and over again. Now, when you do this, you'll want to use dry erase markers, and one important thing you want to remember is not to press hard. If you press hard, the dry erase marker does not clean off of the page protector very well. So what I'm going to do for my first, I'll show you all the letters, for my first gift tag here is I'm going to do it for Deb, and that's my daughter's nickname, and it's nice and short for this demonstration. So what I'm going to do is from my colon, I'm going to move over 2 and start in the 3rd spot, and I'm going to put in the first letter, which will move so you can see it as I do it. Remember to use a very light touch so that at the end you can clean it off easy enough. And as you can see here, each box is a bead. So you're just making little circles for where you want your bead design to go. Now we're going to move over 2 more, and in the 3rd one we'll start our next letter. And then our there is our name. Put our letters aside, and now we will add ourselves a little icon at the end. I am going to use the candy cane. So we will go over to, and we'll start on the third row, and I'm going to start down 4 here. So we'll have, I'm just going to do a circle for the white, and then add the red, and now we will do next row. Do the top one. Alright, now we have our name, an icon. Now we have to find the end of our pattern. Now this is very important. With FacetedBeadArt, your bottom row and your side, if it is straight, not the tapered, but straight, you want it to be even. We're already 8 tall, so that makes the end will be even. Now we have to find an even for the bottom. So you want to include this first bead here, which starts your tapering because it's along the bottom, and you want to count out to an even number. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. I'm going to double check that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. Alright, so we have 3 spaces between our name and our icon, and then we have 1 space between our icon and the end of our pattern, and the bottom, making sure to include this circle bead here, is 36 wide. So that is our pattern that we will be using in the next videos. I'm going to be showing you how to do it with the 2 needle stitch, and then I'll be putting videos up also for the 1 needle stitch. Now, when you complete your piece and you're ready to begin another gift tag, what I recommend is that you have some dish soap and you get a paper towel wet with it, dry it off or wring it out, and then as long as you haven't pressed hard with your dry erase markers, it should come right off. And as you can see, we have a perfectly clean pattern and ready for the next one. And that is a nice easy way to reuse your pattern over and over. Now the page protector over time will probably get tired of being used, but you do get several of them in one package, so that won't be a problem. Just use another one, but you should be able to use it quite a few times before it gives out. Well, I hope to see you in my next video. See you then.